talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hi, it's Dr. Fox, licensed psychologist in the state of Texas. And in this video, I want to talk about splitting with your partner who may also be your favorite person. And I think it's important first to recognize that splitting is common not only in those with BPD, but also in many individuals, personality disordered or not. And what splitting is, it is that black and white, all or nothing thinking. You think in extremes. Either it's everything and all things, always, never. And you can catch that tendency to split when you're using those extreme terms. Always, never, forever, things like that. So it's really important to pay attention to the things that you're thinking and saying. It's not just the things that you're saying. And that's where the partner stuff and favorite person stuff comes in. And that can be that, a lot of times, sometimes our partners let us down, or they don't meet our expectations, or they don't do what we expect them to do. And it's during those times that it gives BPD an opportunity to take advantage, to amplify your core content, things that are going on underneath. That core content can sometimes, and it is for many individuals with BPD, it can be emptiness, abandonment, it can be fear of rejection, it can be a lot of different things. And I think that those three are probably the most common that I see in my clients that are along the BPD spectrum. But it can be a variety of other things for yourself. And what happens is when you have these issues or these experiences or these, what I like to say is they're kind of like sensory indicators. When you believe that your partner is going to abandon you or reject you, or you have a moment where you feel very alone and it triggers this sense of emptiness that feels like it can't be filled. What happens is you have what's called surface structure, surface content. And surface structure, surface content, what that is that's sort of the manifestation of the activation.
Whoa, man, these relationship talks get deep, man. Black and white thinking. I wonder if people really understood the power of non-evaluative observation in a relationship. To be able to observe what is going on without judgment. This is what Krishnamurti talked about, right? In the pursuit of understanding human intelligence, J. Krishnamurti, a renowned philosopher, proposed a thought-provoking notion. The ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence, right? That's heavy. We're going to delve into the philosophical and psychological and intimate relationship implications. By examining the concept of non-evaluative observation, we can uncover its potential to foster personal growth, enhance relationships, and challenge social norms. Number one, the essence of non-evaluative observation. Non-evaluative observation refers to the act of perceiving the world without imposing judgments or preconceived notions. It involves a state of pure awareness where one simply observes the unfolding events, thoughts, and emotions without attaching labels of good or bad, right or wrong. This form of observation requires a heightened level of mindfulness and self-awareness, enabling individuals to transcend their conditioned thinking patterns. I was raised this way, and that action to me looks like that. That's what that is. And we'll bottom line out on it. Nuance, justifications, intellectualizations are all excuses. You just intellectualizing, you're philosophizing. And yes, that is a problem when people are trying to do that, but I'm pointing out something here because a lot of clinicians and psychological work moving towards mindfulness. Did you know mindfulness is really the practice of emptying your mind? It's not mindful, as in let's fill it up. It's actually emptying your mind of the preconceived ideas and notions that have existed there, that causes you to judge, that causes you to fear, that causes you to resist. Nothing can ever be renewed or made new because the old mind is still behind every definition of action you perceive in others. Krishnamurti was ahead of his time. The ability to observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. We need this in intimate relationships. Xylon from Alexandria, get in here.
So, though, let me say this, because after last night's show and what you're saying today, it's so powerful. During our coaching, you gave me 2 books to read that I'm still reading right now. Mm-hmm. Dr. Joe Dispenza's How to Break Up with Yourself, mm-hmm. and Dr. Hawkins' Power versus Force. Mm-hmm. And in the conversation I was having yesterday with my baby's mother and the enlightenment that came after that, it was like the understanding of knowing exactly what you're saying right now, the words you just said, of how to ask the questions to test yourself, how to ask questions to get you beyond a certain point of understanding. Like, she didn't know that was a thing to do. And so when I opened it up to her, her whole existence has changed. So this your show, your ability to articulate these topics, your ability to say, look, let's look beyond this realm of physicality, of transactionalism, or relationships being this way. I use that. I accept that. I'm agreeable to that. And it leads to possibilities for me in my further relationships for people to know he is not here for whatever that foolishness is. In the words of my boy, Heru Ali, I have said what I have said. We ain't going to say no more. This is where we at.
Hey, man, thank you, Brother Xylon, Alexandria, Louisiana. When we come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this most intriguing discussion.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Need a fresh start? LADWP income-qualified customers can get up to $15,000 tax-free to pay overdue water utility bills with the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program. Benefit amounts may vary and will not impact other benefits. Visit ladwp.com/cares and apply today. That's ladwp.com/cares.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes, some of us will probably catch it on TV with chicken hanging from our mouths. You'll know it's revolution because there won't be no commercial. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. Preacher pimps are gonna split the scene with the communion wine stuck in their back pockets. Faggots won't be so funny then, and all the junkies will quit their nod and wake up when the revolution comes. When the revolution comes, transit cops will be crushed by the trains after losing their guns, and blood will run through the streets of Harlem, drowning anything without substance. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. I hope pearly white teeth fall off the mouths that speak of revolution without reference. The course of revolution is 360 degrees. Understand the cycle that never ends. Understand the beginning to be the end. And
ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. We on fire tonight, man. Tonight's topic, man, we got to have a mental revolution. We have to revolutionize the way we see things. Let me say, this is why forgiveness is so difficult, right? Forgiveness is exceedingly difficult because it's just a set of words, right? It's just a set of words. It's a phrase, I forgive you. But if you look at the lens through which you are looking at your partner, if it's a black and white lens, if it's an inflexible lens, wow, it's really hard to forgive. If it's a judgmental lens, see, forgiveness is akin to mindfulness. Forgiveness is a washing away of things. Things are washed away. There's a grace there. There's a, okay, that happened, but the happening is not you. Whatever happened is not you. For many people, whatever happened to them at the hands of somebody else, cheating, lying, marginalizing, whatever, man, you become that thing in their mind. And you really can't be anything other than that. All you have to do is have a conversation with them, and They will outline all the reasons why they don't trust you or you're not trustworthy, because everything is based on what was done, not what could be. And again, oftentimes you have to have a revolutionary mind to get outside of the mold, I should say. The mold we came from and the mold that the relationship creates around us is very heavy, man. Wounds and hurt creates molds. I'm not saying moles like moles on your face, a mold, right? A wound is a mold it happened at a time, and when that happened, there's a timestamp, boom, and then there's a mold there, like, oh, this is who that person is. Maybe, maybe not. We've got callers on the line that want to talk about it, though. Let's get them. True Monger, been on the longest, Dallas, Texas. Get in here.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, man? What are your thoughts about tonight's topic?
Oh man, it's an exposing topic because a lot of people do continue to think this way, and they're probably conditioned to think that way, and then they never bother to learn any other way, or they don't want to see the human in themselves or their partner. They just want to go by wherever the standards are, wherever the structure is, wherever they model, and they think that's all there is to it. But we're all too flawed for that. We got to get to the point where we can see, where we can be in the gray area and acknowledge what they may have done, how they act, and just take it for the human they are.
But the gray area is scary, though, bro.
Yeah. So
that's what I say. So what is scary? Let's jump in, right?
Yeah. Because if I remain in my comfort zone, yeah, as soon as you commit an infraction, I'm gonna hold you by that and never let it go. Right. But that's not doing me any good, and it's not doing that person any good. Because I wouldn't want that done to me, even though it has been.
But see, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about nuance. When you stretch your perspective, right? When you stretch your perspective, again, nuance just adds so much more depth to what you're experiencing, right? To what you're going through. You're not as quick to say this is good or bad, right or wrong. You might even take a negative situation and say this was fulfilling. Do you see?
Yeah.
Back to what we were talking about yesterday with Alan Berger when we mentioned Rumi. When Rumi said the light is where the wound, or the wound is where the light enters, right? Well, to many people that are black and white thinkers, that's oxymoronic. First off, if the light is healing, but the wound is, I really don't want nothing to touch that wound. I don't want nothing to touch that wound. And many people don't understand light is a metaphor for enlightenment. So I listen, don't touch the wound, because black and white thinking is this is good, this is bad. It's a binary process. This is good for me, this is bad for me. And if they don't understand that the light is a healing process, then a concept like, Rumi's poem there where he says, the wound is where the light enters, many people might not want that, They might not want to be a part of that process. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for them because they're stunting their own growth by thinking that way. But you can point it out all day to them. It still has to sink in for them, and they have to be the ones to change that. So that's where their accountability and the responsibility come in. Most people don't want to be responsible for their humanity. Not that part of it.
Right.
They just want to go through this sick society. Almost cuss, but
don't cuss. Don't cuss.
They just want to go through the motions,
right?
not doing any self work. Like I said, man, I've been cheated on, I've been lied to, I've been through all that, and there were points in my life where I did think black and white. Oh, you did this to me. That's all. There's no point of me even being in contact with you because you're just gonna keep doing it. I had to grow out of that.
Interesting. Again, my brother, Truemonger, we always appreciate your insight, brothers. We always appreciate it. Man, you know you're more than welcome to call in here anytime you get ready, man. Thank you. Wait,
yes,
you got one more? I know you got one more, don't you?
Hmm?
You got one more jewel for me, right?
I can come up with one.
Hey, man, I'm just messing with you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out. He brought Dallas, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. My brother Truemonger cooking. Who else we got? Oh, he said the phone lines are open. Call in. We got lines. But we also got Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia. Nazarene, jump in here.
Yo.
What up, bro?
Check. Man, look, I got in trouble again for my so-called black and white thinking. But I'm one of them Twilight Zone
Wait,
brothers.
is it so-called or is it real?
I don't really care. I just know I got in trouble and I owned it. So here's the thing, right? Because I think there's a difference between having bottom lines and non-negotiables and just like having your respective individual head on straight or say on track with how you want to look at things. I mean, you can be open-minded, but let me give you this example, if I can real quickly. Years ago, I met a woman, and she was really on her, like, as far as speaking points, she was like, yeah, the black woman is God, I'm God in the flesh, this and the third, like, I'm a God, this and the third, right? This is about 3 years ago. And the whole time while she's kind of exuding or, like, pushing this I'm God in the flesh thing, I'm like, cool, respect. But at the same time, he was talking about taking the Jabberwocky, like, because of the COVID pandemic thing, because she was scared of COVID. So for me personally, when I heard that, to me, what was a contradiction, I kind of brought that up, like, well, how you God, but you scared of a virus? To the extent where, you feel like your only mode of recourse would be XYZ option, like, with that, just kind of hearing that mind, and not to say what's right for her, but in the context, it was like, for me, I guess it's kind of black and white in that sense in terms of certain aspects or elements of the way that I feel like life works. So for me, I could be looked at as a black and white thinker in the sense that, okay, well, the whole of God isn't necessarily only going to find protection by way of a man-made situation. If he's in, like, that kind of contrast. So it's like, I let people kind of do what they do, but in that sense, maybe that's me being a black and white thinker. Kind of sound like that?
No. I just think you have your opinion about that. And at the end of the day, she's got to do what she's got to do to stay employed. And, during that time, if you don't get that shot, hey, you're not going to be employed. So, and then you had a lot of people who said, you know what, I'm not taking it. And you had a lot of people who said they were. So, again, I don't know if that's black or white thinking. You asked a question in context of religion. Now, just because somebody says that they're God, it doesn't mean that they adhere to a particular belief system's definition of God. She might be saying she's consciousness. And then I've seen some people who said, you know what, I am supreme consciousness, I am Christ consciousness, and I'm going to take this shot to keep my job because this ain't going to hurt me because of my mindset.
Right.
I've had people say that. So I don't necessarily see it as black and white thinking.
And that's the thing. I wasn't, even to me, again, I wasn't asking even from a religious standpoint. Again, just kind of resting in exploring the context of these statements. Because again, especially when you're meeting different people, and it could be any, say, set of principles, or I think how you spoke to it, like different moral pluralities, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Moral,
I think it's just the thing where,
moral ambiguity.
Right. So looking to get to a space of clarity is just what it's all about for me. So again, that's another thing. Whereas those, I guess, when people get so pressed up on it's either this or that, then it was like, again, the flip side, or say a next hurdle of that kind of conversation became, hey, well, if I'm not going to subscribe to your way of thinking, if I'm not going to take the jab, then I'm not for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not for you. Like, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
But that doesn't mean, yeah, that type of stuff. Because it's like, again, but that's, sometimes I feel like it's cool to, like I said, play around with the gray zone, or get in that twilight zone, like get in the thick of things.
Where'd you go? Where we lost you? Where's Nazarene X? We lost him. Are you on speaker or Bluetooth? We can't hear you, Naz. Where did he go? Nazarene.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Okay, come back, man.
Damn. My bad. Yeah, the Bluetooth kicked up. Just real quick, I don't know where it cut off, but I was just saying that's where I would encourage people to approach the so-called twilight zone, or like the space of the unknown, because you're going to discover things about yourself, or even the opinions of others, the perspective of others, the experiences that you're in, and then at the end of the day, you still make the best decision for yourself. But the answers sometimes are in that realm of the unknown. So, like, sometimes it's better for us to go and get some information, be open-minded, get an additional perspective and all, so that way we can still refine how we want to proceed on whatever level.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say, like, play around with the twilight zone.
The twilight zone.
That's what I call it. I just call it.
Hey, man, listen, I appreciate your insight, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for calling in, as always. Hey, man, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Thank you so much. Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia. Again, when we come forward, I'm going to talk about the wounded ego, how the wounded ego creates these fear-based perspectives that are limited and rigid, and how they could potentially cause us, to damage our relationships by trying to protect ourselves with black or white thinking. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. We finna come forward, though.
Jesus Christ is gonna be standing on the corner of Lenox Avenue and 125th Street, trying to catch the first gypsy cab out of Harlem when the revolution comes. When the revolution comes, Jew merchants will give away matzo balls and gefilte fish to anyone they see with an afro. Frank Shippen will give away the Apollo to the first person he sees wearing a blue dashiki when the revolution comes. When the revolution comes, afros gonna be trying to straighten their heads, and straighten heads gonna be trying to wear afros when the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. But until then, you know and I know niggas will party and bullshit.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The House panel investigating the origins of COVID-19 is focusing on a 2020 paper that concludes the virus did not come from a lab leak. Republicans have claimed the paper was used as a cover-up by top health officials to dismiss the lab leak theory. Advocacy groups are calling for a federal investigation into New Jersey State Police internal practices. New Jersey's NAACP Director Richard Smith says the department has a long-standing history of internal bias, which has resulted in 17 discrimination lawsuits. Amtrak service remains suspended along parts of the East Coast after 2 cars derailed at Union Station in Washington, D.C. Services are on hold between D.C. and Richmond, Virginia. After this morning's incident, no injuries were reported. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/bankingforbusiness to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Black Lives Matters turns 10, and KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to be the exclusive media partner of the People's Justice Festival. This Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park. Come join us as we celebrate the life-saving and history-making work of Black Lives Matter to help bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice. There will be live music performances, a children's village, giveaways, vendors, a healing justice space, Skillshare, and amazing speakers including Green Party presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West, live on stage at 4:30 p.m. For more information, go to blmgrassroots.org. That's www.blmgrassroots.org. Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley will be main stage hosts throughout the day, and the KBLA Talk 1580 delegation will be out in full force. So, join us this Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. at Leimert Park as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Black Lives Matter. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head, rooted.
Hey Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm James Alexander, a proud member of AARP. 1967, I was 17. That spring, my friends, the Barcades, and I made Soulfinger. It was a hit. Number 3 on the charts. That summer, we became the great Otis Redding's band. First gig, the famed Apollo. That fall, we toured. That winter found me in a morgue identifying the bodies of my bandmates and Otis Redding. My music and their memories bring me joy. The Barcades, forever.
What would you call a joy that is as solemn as it is sweet and knows no bounds? A joy that's beautifully rooted in soul and resilience. This is Black Joy, a joy that reflects pride and honor despite every challenge. AARP believes the power of Black joy is limitless, and we celebrate this joy supreme. Join us in celebrating Black joy at aarp.org/blackcommunity.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to the building. Oh, this was a great song. Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney, Ebony and Ivory. Thinking? Yes, it happens. Our wounded, egoic, fragile, limited, binary, and fear-based perspectives can indeed be a significant contributing factor to our psychological pain. Right? These perspectives often arise from past experiences, conditioning, and societal influences that shape our beliefs and perceptions. When we hold on to these perspectives rigidly, they can create a distorted lens through which we view ourselves, others, and the world around us. And the reason why we're talking about this limited perspective stuff is because, again, if these filters are over our eyes, right? If these limited and rigid belief systems and perspectives are over our eyes, then it's really hard to see the humanity in our partner. So anything they say to explain or to give context to what may have happened in a relationship, a disagreement, an argument, frustration, falling out of love, whatever it is, might be seen in a negative light. We've got callers on the line. Let's get them in here to talk about it. Heru Ali, Battle Creek, Michigan.
Peace and love to the family of nations, Honor Soul, and the Arabia, and the God, Tyler Smiley, and all staff. Listen, there was a popular song back in the 90s that said, you can get with this,
or you can get with that.
You can get with this, because this is where it's at. Wait a minute, those are, I only have two choices? Republican or Democrat? That's it? That's it?
Right.
So what I would tell you is this is like a everyday phenomenon I see played out in my life experience. It's like you couldn't consider any other relationship paradigm. That's absolutely no. It's got to be monogamy. It's got to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, really? Who were you? And matter of fact, where did you get your relationship paradigm from?
Well, do we want to judge him like that, Heru? I don't.
No, I was asking a question. It wasn't a judgment. It was a question.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
But wait a minute. You said, who are you? Where did you get your relationship?
No, I said, yeah. Who were you before you adopted and was inculcated, indoctrinated by your colonizers?
But
like what? Okay. How did you live before? Allegedly 1619, which
so
we know that's a fallacy.
You're talking about slavery now. So
no, I'm talking about the indoctrination that has started since we met those smallpox infected testosterone toxic monkeys.
Wait,
respectfully.
Heru, wait, hold on, Heru. Are you saying
yes,
every African or original man society was
Aboriginal indigenous? I'm listening.
Aboriginal indigenous, right? Are you saying they were all polygamous?
What I'm saying is,
I'm just asking because I'm just
absolutely.
asking.
Go ahead, sir.
And the only reason why I'm asking is because every time I hear this, before we came here, we had a different construct for relationship.
Before they came here, because
answer my question.
400,000.
Just
yes,
answer
sir.
my question.
I'm about to answer.
Are all of the Aboriginal indigenous folks, man, are they all non-monogamous? I'm trying to figure that out.
Not today.
I'm saying,
not
in ancient times they were all non-monogamous. I'm just asking.
Well, I wasn't there, But what I can tell you is that there is more than enough primary evidence to demonstrate that it wasn't monogamous. Well, first of all, here's the thing. Why you think your baby daddy, not yours, because we don't have no baby daddy, why you think your baby daddy is sleeping with you and sleep with her and you know, but he with you and all that stuff that's called serial monogamy? Somebody came up with it. Why is that okay? Listen, a tiger can't change his stripes. Yes or no?
A tiger can't, but a human can.
No. Well, I like tiger stripes on the human female, but here we go. No, listen. Nature always wins in the end. We have been indoctrinated and inculcated. We don't even speak. What's our original language? What's your original language? You from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, with the Choctaw.
Wait, hold on, Heru, you're going all over the place.
Straw man argument. I see you, third eye.
No, I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
You're going all over the place. I want to be clear here. Black and white thinking. Bottom line, it's either this or that. It's either right or wrong, right? And I'm trying to be clear how that could be detrimental for intimate relationships.
Because that eliminates synergism.
Talk to me about it.
The synergistic approach, the win-win approach. Mm-hmm. Remember, in the past, I always said that, like you care, it's all good, third eye. The approach is, I'll never compromise. They'll say, we got to compromise a relationship. I will only cooperate to where we both win, because compromising suggests that one person gets something and the other person loses something. So why can't we take the synergistic approach, the win-win approach?
Wait, does it mean that? Wait, hold on. In relationship, this is the only caveat I have for compromise. And you tell me if you agree or disagree. I say you compromise in order to make the relationship work, but you compromise all the way up to the line to where you have to compromise who you are. You don't compromise who you are. You compromise for the relationship. You compromise for your partner. But if that compromising gets to the point where you compromise yourself, that's how you lose yourself. That's how you become emotionally enmeshed in the relationship and you can't find yourself. You don't want to do that. So, you understand what I'm saying? I don't.
I
is that different?
Do.
Is that different from your definition of compromise?
A compromise is a compromise. Somebody takes an L, somebody takes a W. I will only cooperate to where we are rational human beings who has critical thinking, emotional intelligence, to where what is the best thing for both of us, even if her suggestion is better.
Wait, stay with me. When we come forward, we going back to Battle Creek, Michigan. I'm trying to work it out. My brother Heru Ali is on fire.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hollywood Walk of Fame stars in 2024. Stay tuned to find out who's in next year's class. I'm Aisha Cairo with your K-Black Minute News. A new group of 31 entertainment professionals across film, television, radio, recording, and sports entertainment will have their names etched into Hollywood's history in 2024. One of the most celebrated names on the list was the beloved Chadwick Boseman. Others for the class of 2024 in Hollywood Walk of Fame was this year's Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh in the motion picture category. Other notable names include Chris Pine, Gwen Stefani, Andre, Dr. Dre, Young, Otis Redding, Christina Ricci, Brandy Norwood, Harry Washington, and more. The dates for the star ceremonies have not yet been scheduled. To find out all 31 inductees, visit youtube.com/Walk of Fame.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? You might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi everyone, welcome. Today I'll be discussing the dangers of black and white thinking. Black and white thinking is the tendency to think in extremes. While it is normal from time to time to use black and white thinking, developing a pattern of dichotomous thinking can interfere with your health, relationships, and your career. The official psychological term for black and white thinking is splitting. Black and white thinking is essentially a defense mechanism developed in early childhood in order to feel in control. Essentially, when a child is being abused, they feel out of control, and in essence, they are helpless to their abuser, to their perpetrator. And therefore, black and white thinking offers a sort of control tactic, or feeling that the individual is in control. When they think in terms of all or nothing, it doesn't allow for nuances, and it allows the individual to feel like they are the ones who determine what is good, what is bad, what is right, and what is wrong, essentially feeling control in their out of control state. Now, those who think in terms of black and
Man, that's what we've been on all night. Nuance can be misinterpreted as excuse making. Context. Everybody's a bottom liner. Bottom line, this is what it is. This what it's gonna be. Heru Ali, are you one of those bottom liners?
No, ain't no bottom liners. Listen, I'm all about what's best for us, not what's best for me.
Interesting.
No. It's the synergistic approach. When I was interviewed by several fire departments that I worked at. They asked me a real pivotal question. They said, "Is there any time that you feel that it's okay to disobey an order from your lieutenant or your captain?" I said, "Absolutely." They said, can you describe that time?" I said, "If I believe that I can go ahead and go into this structure and save said persons, because we risk our lives to save savable lives, absolutely I'll disobey the order, and I will go in there and I will deal with the consequences of saving someone's life."
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's the win-win. It's the synergistic for me. Nobody loses in synergism.
I like that. I like that.
Nobody loses. Listen, nobody wins when the family feuds, but nobody loses when the family is synergistic in relationship and all of that stuff. And I have to give a premier shout out to the Queen.
Yep.
Listen, it's the understanding is women, your superpower is your femininity. Your femininity.
Keep going, brother. All right. Thank you, man.
Peace and
Harold,
love to the family of nations. Please stay safe. And
Thank you,
Third
brother.
Eye, I love you, brother. I don't know you, but it's all good.
There
I
it
see
is.
you.
Harold Ali, Battle Creek, Michigan. Andy had a great point on compromise. He had an interesting perspective. Talk to me about that, brother Andy.
Yeah, as I was telling you during the break, Haru Ali mentioned compromise, and I know you guys were going back and forth about it, but the way I see compromise is the creation of a third space, right? So I'm in my space, you are in your space, right? There's things that you like and dislike about me. There's things that I like and dislike about you. Now, in order for us to be synergistic, as Haru Ali said, I think it's best to create what I call a third space. In other words, it's like we create, for lack of a better term, like the 10 commandments that me and you will abide by. That is our compromise. So we come together and just be like, all right, well, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. Well, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. And once we come into an agreement, these are the commandments that we will, follow up with, follow by, and abide.
I like that. Andy, the engineer, is in here cooking. I need y'all to understand something, though. The goal is to cultivate as much internal freedom as you possibly can in intimate relationships. It's very difficult to cultivate internal freedom when you are imprisoned to unhealed wounds. Unhealed wounds have a tendency to actually imprison our perspective. Within this framework, our significant others can indeed become triggers for unresolved and unacknowledged pain that already exists within us. They may unintentionally activate our insecurities, fears, and unresolved emotional wounds, causing us to react in ways that are disproportionate to the present situation. This can lead to conflicts, misunderstandings, and a deepening of our psychological pain. However, it is important to note that while our wounded perspectives can contribute to our psychological pain, they are not the sole root cause. Our pain can also stem from a variety of other factors, such as childhood trauma, unresolved emotions, unmet needs, and even biological predispositions. It is a complex interplay of various elements that contribute to our psychological well-being. Black and white thinking, a defense mechanism, man. This is interesting. I wanted to start a conversation to get us to see that there are a lot of wrinkles in this relationship world, right? And I'm now starting to understand why people throw relationship people away or good people, they end relationships, because really ending the relationship is basically saying I'm at the end of my own internal reserve in terms of tools, the tools that I have. I don't have any more tools. So if you don't have any more tools, you can't do any more work. If you can't do any more work, what's the purpose of staying in a relationship that is unfulfilling? So, that's kind of hurtful to come to that realization. But for many people, that's what happens. People run out of tools, or they don't know how to employ tools. And perspective, and I would say nuanced discussions and conversations, very powerful tool, right? Like, really, it is a powerful tool that can change things, right? What do you mean, Zoe? Man, when the humanity in a person shows up and they fail you in some kind of way, and they disappoint you in some kind of way, if you have this tool, right? Wow, you can change things. You can say, you know what? I'm going to look at a person's intent over their actions, right? Maybe their actions hurt me, but the intention was articulated and I accepted the intention, right? And so the intention kind of not necessarily absolved you of the pain that was caused, but it gave you some grace, right? We talk about grace all the time. I'm going to end with this Krishnamurti quote. Freedom and love go together. Love is not a reaction. If I love you because you love me, that is mere trade, a thing to be bought in the market. It is not love. To love is not to ask for anything in return, not even to feel that you are giving something. And it is only such a love that can know freedom. Many of us think we love, but maybe we don't. It's mind-boggling to me that you can fall out of it. Listen, I started the conversation. You finish it. The voice of reason on fire. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. Up next, you already know, RSVP. Y'all know what it is. Jill Monet. Yeah.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The House panel investigating the origins of